Hi everyone. I hope you will enjoy our third novel in this course. This lecture is intended for the fourth year course for fiction and the novel. Now, when we talk about the third novel, we are actually moving from the old continent to America. So we are talking about the Great Gatsby. We are still with modernity as the novel and the fiction work of the fourth year is all about modernity and the rise of all those new ideas and new world. When we come about a birth of new ideas, we're actually talking also about a kind of something that is happening everywhere in the world. It's not happening only in here in here across the Atlantic into the new continent, but it also happens in Britain, as we have seen in Sons and Lovers. And we got it modernity as kind of concept, a cultural concept in all over the world. So when we come to the idea of uh, what is what is going on, we are actually talking about a new world at the end of colonialization, a new map, political map, political speaking, and a new standards of living for the modernity and lifestyles. And this is very much exhibited through The Great Gatsby, our novel. The Great Gatsby is about the great new age, the age of the jazz, the earlier decades of the 20th century. It's about people adapting to new lifestyles and a new map, political map in which the dollar is getting into the power more than the armies, more than the British armies all over the world. We are going to have the American dollar is dominating the world all over the globe, all over the world Earth. Let us share this. Let us share this introduction. What is that age? What is the age? According to Fitzgerald himself, this age is called the age of the jazz. I mean, why it's this kind of music? This kind of music, it comes with lots of it comes with lots of ideas. I mean, we have the idea that the margins matter, like, because most of the jazz musicians are black. So the voice for the voiceless, an age of art, also an age of music and art, and an age of satire in which kind of criticism for whatever is going on. I mean, the materialism of the age, everything. Now, Fitzgerald himself, Scott Fitzgerald, uh, with a kind of a person who loved very much his wife, and there was a kind of love story between him and himself. And this kind of love story with extremism, a kind of appulsion and inclusion, and the idea of a changing, with emotional talking, his the idea of a woman as a model. This all comes in the life of Fitzgerald. The same with the social status. I mean, he is coming from a very poor social status. His parents were very poor, but he came, into a different, higher status with his work. So while his family was not prosperous, but his mother was very ambitious, and he looked at his mother. Also, his aunt helped him with the finance to move into New Jersey and then to Princeton University. So at Princeton University, he was a kind of, from the upper class. It is a place for the upper Americans. So he joined the upper class. So when you talk about the novel and how the novel is coming from, the different status of the American classes, social classes, we're also talking about Fitzgerald himself. You know, to the army and the war, and we have that kind of mentioning stuff into our novel. He went to New York to seek fortune, but then he found the love of his life, and he got married to Zelda. Uh, we come to a point of becoming rich, and then facing fundamental problems, all this stuff. Then he has got children, so he was talking about families. There's an only child, a daughter named Frances Scotty Fitzgerald. She was born 1921. So we are talking about a person who actually uh, having it all. I mean, the period, the jazz age, the 1920s, kind of mirroring the events that occurring nationally during that decade. I mean, his life is reflected on the social life. These 20s, we call it the roaring 20s, and they refer to as the jazz age, a time of challenges, of personal indulgence, of sometimes even a self-destructive excess. Fitzgerald was itself proclaimed spokesman and symbol of that age. So when we come to The Great Gatsby, published in 1925, it is nominated the Great American Novel, the classical Great American Novel about the 20s. And the idea that this novel is like a chronicle. It chronicles the exuberance as well as the malice of the decade. Americans' fascination with material success is all the enduring values. We have eyes, and these eyes can be the eyes of history, the eyes of America, the eyes of God, the eyes of faith, can be anything. Lots of critical